toured the world with jazz greats including Duke Ellington and Ella Fitzgerald.
Romano was actually well respected by others in the music industry. He toured the world, visiting places such as the United States, Canada, Mexico, Venezuela, Australia, South Korea, Kenya, Germany, and Russia. He played alongside jazz icons including Ella Fitzgerald, Duke Ellington, Dizzy Gillespie, and Lionel Hampton. Romano grew particularly close to Chet Baker, who admittedly was apprehensive about meeting Mussolini's son for the first time. Baker purportedly and awkwardly said to Romano while shaking hands, "Sorry to hear about you, Dad."
He took odd jobs before being asked to play at a jazz festival and landed a record contract.
In the aftermath of WW2, Romano, his mother and sister were banished to the island of Ischia in the Gulf of Naples. Romano kept out of the public eye because of his family's roots, changing his name when he performed and working small side hustles to support himself. He worked in lumber and construction until 1956, when the editor of a jazz magazine asked him to perform in San Remo. Shortly afterwards, Romano landed a recording contract with Italian RCA. His musical style was later compared to that of Oscar Peterson, who is considered to be one of history's greatest jazz pianists.
As an aspiring musician, Romano made money by selling clown paintings.
After the war, Romano joined a jazz quartet and played in nightclubs and restaurants. He spent the rest of his time on the side raising pigs and chickens and making a living as a graphic artist. He lost a lot of money investing in a film, but got back on his feet by selling paintings of clowns. He learned the craft from a clown he met while his band performed at a circus, but reportedly didn't speak much about it and treated it merely as a side hustle.
Mussolini's last words to his son were about music.
Romano was just 17 years old when his father was assassinated in April of 1945 while trying to escape to Switzerland with his mistress. Even though jazz had been banned country, Duce was proud of his son's musical skills. 11 days before his death, he told Romano, who was at the piano, "Keep playing." Those were the last words Mussolini ever said to Romano.
Romano fell in love with music as a child and played the piano while his father accompanied him on the violin.
Mussolini had 5 children. He was born in Carpena di Forli in northern Italy, and his brother Vittorio introduced him to jazz at the age of 4 by playing him the music on 78 RPM records. For the Mussolinis, music was a family affair. Romano's father even played the violin. Romano learned how to play the accordion and taught himself piano. Then he and his father would often perform classical music with each other. Romano was one of Italy's first jazz aficionados and wrote reviews about the music for magazines.
Mussolini's son initially performed jazz under the name Romano Full.
After World War II ended, Romano tried to disassociate himself from his infamous father by changing his name so he could perform without persecution. He hid his identity by using the name Romano Full when he performed. He believed it would have been challenging to pursue a jazz career if people knew his father was one of the world's most notorious dictators. Romano kept his surname under wraps because it could have stunted his career. It wasn't until a few years later that he decided to embrace his birth surname and performed as Romano Mussolini.
His father's fascist regime censored jazz.
Jazz was developed in the United States in the early 20th century by African Americans in New Orleans. It later flourished in cities such as Chicago and New York City, but the music was censored in Italy under fascism. The elder Mussolini's government even gave American jazz musicians Italian-sounding names. Louis Armstrong was known as Luigi Fortebraccio as part of its nationalistic ideology. If fascism had kept its hold on Italy, Romano Mussolini would never have been able to play the music he held dear to his heart. But when the National Fascist Party was outlawed following the end of World War II, Mussolini was ready to hit the stage.
Hey guys, thank you so much for your support and like and comment down below, and also thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Then take care, bye.